So now that we've seen the scenario of a season, usually the question we get is, hey, where do I find the process? Where's the curriculum per se? And we hide it just a little bit because before we do any of that, we do want you to understand the why and the purpose behind everything that we do, because everything is built very intentionally. So first thing I would say is it's certainly not a curriculum. And so I would say it's not an intellectual exercise. And so as we kind of talk through what a month looks like for a mentor and a mentee, I want to give you a little bit of a snapshot of what those details look like. So I would say for you as the mentor, we provide you everything that you need on a monthly basis, and then we also do that from a mentee. And so give you a quick snapshot of what those details are. For you as a mentor, we provide several things. So we provide your framework for each meeting. And so that's going to be your mentor preparation guide. So when you walk into the meeting, you're prepared to have that discussion. You've done everything you need to do ahead of time. And then also we provide a sample agenda for you with some prompting questions to be able to help you. So really what we give you is kind of the basic structure for your meeting. And then from a mentee standpoint, we're providing everything that they need to do on a monthly basis to be prepared for the meeting. So that's where we give you the book option for them to read each month. They have some growth assignments that they're doing each month, some scripture memorization. And again, all of that's built very intentionally. So as we talked about the scenario of the season last time on how we kind of go through the season, this is the actual meeting in itself. And again, all of those are going to be connected to a topic that we're hitting on that month. So big thing I would tell you though, again, is, hey, we'll hand you the structure, but again, we feel like there's some freedom in that structure as well. So.
Yeah, that's an important point. I'll come behind that with two thoughts. First is the scaffolding is important, and Trey's walked you through some of that, and there's more detail to come behind that. But let's recognize that it always takes second fiddle to the people in the room. Right, so we build these meetings and they're built to make it easy on the mentor and the mentees, but the curriculum, the scaffolding, the architecture, however we want to reference that, comes second to the journey of the relationships in the room. So we want to be attuned as mentors to what's going on in the lives of the individuals that are put in our care. And there are times that we have to call audibles at a meeting. We have to pivot away from content structure because life is happening. And part of our role as a mentor is to love into and lead into those situations. So we'll spend plenty of time getting people up to speed on that scaffolding and that journey, but let's also be intentional about the individuals and lives and what's going on there. The other thing I would say coming behind some of those comments, Trey, is that the intentionality, use that word twice, is important in what we do. It is impossible to look at scripture and not see the concept of being diligent and being intentional in our own personal discipleship and that of others. So if we read Paul and we look at the words of Jesus, it is going to be hard. It is hard on purpose, and we're called as believers to dive in, and as mentors we're leading that. So the phrase we hear from churches a lot is we are an accelerator of discipleship for individuals, and that is an important element of what we do. So I just wanted to make sure that we talked about the humanity of both of those things, and the intentionality is certainly a big part of this, because we know from 25 years of experience what comes out of the other side of these journeys has everything to do with the level of intentionality that was put into the journey.
And as your mentees read the book, do the work, a couple of things that you can help them think through and help set the table with is why they're doing it in the first place. And so from your perspective, obviously, you want your mentees to grow. You want them to use spiritual muscles maybe they haven't used before. Then you also want to make sure you're helping that cultivate conversation. So those books and the growth assignments, those are going to be the pieces that help create dialogue in your group. And so as we talk about real life change, being able to all of a sudden shine a spotlight on some things that those homework assignments have revealed or the book has revealed, that really is what we're looking for, not just an assignment, but hopefully life change in that process. So as you kind of look at these monthly assignments and how they apply, the big thing that I would say, kind of the key takeaway for this one, is to say, hey, don't just run through the agenda, but make sure you're slowing down and walking through the process.